Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
And welcome back. I want to share with you a platform that is connecting people, communities, businesses, government, or has the potential to do just that. Can even touch consumers. And this gentleman is behind all of this. The company's called WorldWisePeople. Robert Swanson joins us once again here on the program. Welcome back. How are you doing today?
Hey, doing good. Nice hot day, summer day here. I'm enjoying the heat.
It's funny you should say that. I just had a text with somebody and they were talking about air conditioning. And I said, good for you. I love to sweat. I'm good. I'll take that heat. You're in Spokane, Washington, right?
That's right.
All right. When we talk about heat, you don't normally talk about heat in that area of the country. What's your temp today?
It's right around 100, maybe a little more than that.
Is it really? I'm surprised. I don't think of it being that warm there or getting up to that high. Is that an anomaly or what's going on there?
We can't say it's usual, but it has been usual the past 4 years maybe to have
Wow.
a few weeks of 100 degrees.
My
Yeah,
gosh.
we've had some extended times where it's got real hot. Very, very different.
I would not even think that when I think of that area, I think of, cloudy, a little damp sometimes, in the summertime, very comfortable. I'm in New York. It's about 81 and sunny, which it's been warmer. It's actually quite comfortable.
My team that I work with is global. One of them is in Pakistan.
Uh-huh.
And she reported the other day her temperature was, I think she said 130 and humid.
Can't even imagine. Wow.
That's
Wow.
definitely a sauna.
Yeah, for sure. Let's go to legit. Let's go to your platform now. Let's reset it for everybody that may have missed the last time or a couple of times that we got together. Tell us about how it works and who it connects.
Okay, a platform's different than a website. Let's see, we have 4,500 pages describing what it is that creates our platform. So that's a big thing to happen. It's a lot to put together. We empower the individual by giving them customizations on the site and organic operation. We're going to spread these platforms not as one platform, but a platform for your community wherever you live, and a platform for your business or corporation or government. Now, all of these are going to connect together in the sense that you will form an avatar on one platform and then port it to another platform as you develop yourself in terms of where you're living and your profession and the group that you're connecting with and the projects as you increase the project size from very local to city, national, and global.
Is the underlying current of all of this just connecting people in a meaningful way?
The new meaning I want people to understand is collective intelligence. I want people to understand that our connection with others is not secondary to life, it's primary. So we think of the intelligence as existing within my head. That's not really true. We share culture, we share language, we share habits, we share politics, the science we share technology. All of these things come together to create what is the knowledge base. We share education platforms as K through 12. This creates a standard knowing in our society, a standard procedure for developing knowledge, a standard procedure for operating together. And it's all this operating together that comes together in a person's head as being a sense of how I know myself, how I know society, and what I think a forward direction is. We cannot formulate that living all alone.
Hmm.
It just wouldn't happen. None of that knowledge would be there.
And when I say connecting people in a meaningful way, yeah, Facebook, talk about that platform. That's brought a lot of people together, and there's been some meaningful connections there. But we're not talking about posting a picture which I had for lunch. This goes a little bit deeper in terms of the intelligence. Am I right about that?
Yes, our society's deluge swamped in input. Uh, so 5 times my phone dinged me this morning, and it was all political messages and people wanting me to buy something. Interrupts my day. If I add to that the messages from Facebook and the 5 other platforms I'm using, uh, plus, what's meaningful to me is my team, because my team is a very personal relationship and it has a very distinct direction that we're headed in, creating a very useful product.
Hmm.
That's meaningful. All this other stuff, all the news media blasting me, the nonsense that's on these platforms is just bling. It's just bling. And it's just trying to grab my psychology, either my fear or my dopamine. A little bit of dopamine and I'm happy.
Hmm.
Uh, that's not meaningful, though. That is the opposite of meaning. That is confusion, and that is misdirection and distraction.
Say those words again.
Misdirection and distraction.
Interesting. Well, those pinging you don't think it's misdirection. They think they're going in the right direction, but yeah, certainly distraction. And when even I count the number, even though I have blocks on my phone, the number of spam calls I get in a week, just please go away. It is what it is. I guess it's a product of today's society. So with this website, this is an opportunity for those who are doing marketing, since we're skimming the water here, in terms of messages. Tell me how it can impact those trying to connect with others and get their attention in a meaningful way.
So we're turning marketing into meaning. Huge change. Just think about it. Wow. What if my relationship with a corporation or some other entity was developing meaning? It's not selfish because we develop meaning together. The corporation wants meaning as me as a consumer and doing something meaningful with their product. As I develop meaning as their product, I become someone who's spreading that product to other people's. I'm going to emphasize that again. The gist of marketing is to give meaning to the consumer that they then share with other consumers. I'm trying to think of the word for that. Um, Sneezing. It's in a book about purple marketing. Purple people, they sneeze. They get so excited that all this meaning has eventuated in their life. They can't wait to share it with other people. That's the best marketing.
Hmm.
So how to develop that meaning and connection with people? Let me go through so meaning is ease. And so I think of ease as going to Costco where everything is lined up for me. And I walk this loop through Costco. Instead of walking through 50,000 foot mall or whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
I can take one loop through Costco and get almost everything I need. I want a cheap product. That would be Walmart. I want a novel product. So what would you say is the novel product being introduced right now?
Well, novel product, how would you define novel?
Well, personally, I want to buy a Cybertruck.
Okay.
That's really different. Ugly, yeah, maybe, but it's still novel.
Agreed. Yeah, when I think novel in the Walmart, Costco arena, I think of a store like Trader Joe's, where there are very particular specific products that you only find there. Um, that I'm not going to find at Costco, potentially. It's only going to be in those one particular stores. I don't know if that would fit the model.
Um, we want customer relations. So when I say customer
Mm,
relations, the first thing that comes to my mind is Apple Computer. If I have any problem with any of my 6 or 7 different devices, in 2 minutes I can be on the phone with someone resolving the issue. That is amazing customer relations.
fair
Uh,
enough.
yeah. Customer relations, that uh, Amazon. So when I buy an Amazon product, um, I have a direct connection with the seller. I have a direct connection with other people using the product. I can get answers to my questions. I get reviews. That's really good customer relations. So it's really tempting to use Amazon, and it's all vetted, so I can choose the star value that I
Hmm.
want to research. And then there's down below the products are related. Here's 5 other products, or here's 50 other products similar to this one that you might be interested in. What we're headed toward in all this discussion is customer benefit. There's 3 agreements actually. If you're creating an allegiance, an alliance between corporations and the consumer, there are 3 agreements. There's the customer benefit, there's a global benefit, and there's the corporate benefit. Now, offhand, I wouldn't think global benefit would matter, but it does matter if you think about um, what's happening in social media today. People are asking, if I buy this product, am I benefiting the world?
Hmm.
Will I reduce carbon emissions? Um, will I improve the environment?
That's a great point you bring up because younger generations now gravitate toward those types of companies and or they won't do business unless there's a give back to the community, the environment, or some kind of charitable cause.
So creating that alliance between consumer and corporation, we need to include what's happening in the whole world. We need to include what's happening for me personally and for the corporate benefit. We don't want to leave out corporate benefit. The whole point in marketing is to benefit the corporation. I don't I don't want to minimize that. People seem to be downplaying the role of corporations these days. Corporations operate everything in our society.
Mm.
All fails if the corporation fails. So it should be felt as if it's my duty to support the corporations that I believe are valuable and the corporations that are bringing value into my personal life. So that relationship is most important when it comes to marketing, is that I feel it's personal value for me to hold value in the corporation and support them.
So you're saying that we need to embrace the corporation as opposed to looking at it as maybe potentially a negative?
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Yeah. We need to eliminate the idea that corporations are anything negative. Now, as we open up corporations, see, think of corporations as being inside of a silo, hidden away. And so people get suspicious.
Hmm.
Now, what happens if you create an alliance with people and you open up information to your users, to your consumers? This is who we are. This
Hmm.
is how we operate. And we're moving toward higher standards because our consumers want higher standards. So we're doing this together.
Great point you bring up, Robert, in that take a moment, everybody, and think about a corporation that you have an affinity for. You love them. You just it's like you feel like you're connected to them like a friend. Not so easy to do. I'm thinking the only one, honestly, that comes to mind is Amazon for me because they've made my life easier. They've got me hooked, but that's just, besides the point. But they're there for me if I'm not happy with the product. They make it easy. They deliver in a very short period of time. I feel like they have my back. I'm trying to think of another corporation where I would say, yeah, they're me. They're good people, whatever. Um, I'd have to think a little while. And I don't know if it's just me. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. What comes to my mind is the famous advertisement that Apple put out. So up on a big screen is the image of Big Brother, and enters the room a an athletic woman, and she's swinging one of these balls on a chain, and she throws it into the screen and smashes Big Brother. What she was smashing was the effect of silos being hidden. Um, let's open up communications between people and the corporation. So some people took that to be something more political, maybe. I
Hmm.
don't think so. I think it's really all about we're not going to be siloed as corporations anymore. We're going to connect with our customer base. Uh,
Hmm. So it's interesting perception and the reality. I don't do Apple, just not my thing. I was uncomfortable when I tried to a number of years ago, where I always had to give them information. Then I had to give a credit card for anything. They just have a credit card standing by, and it just turned me off. Now you say they're very approachable. We get them on the phone. You have a problem. I do Android for my devices, Google, obviously, but there isn't that personal connection. Pick up the phone and talk to somebody to fix your Google situation. Very rare that you'll get somebody. Um, the perception is there. My perception is Apple is so big. Yeah, good luck getting them on the phone. You go to the Genius Bar or whatever it's called. There's lines out the door. You got to wait for hours to get your device fixed. Yeah, that's what I see. I don't know if that's the true reality. Um, it seems like you've mentioned them twice, Apple. Um, you've got an affinity. It's a favorite of yours. That's what I detect. You're good with them. Maybe I should look at it, revisit it. I don't know. I think the technology is great for Google devices, and they give you a lot of free stuff as well, just as good as some of the paid stuff. Um, but it's interesting how we look at it, the experiences that we have, right?
oh, I don't discount your experience at all. I'm just fortunate where I live
Ah,
that I
okay.
can. It just takes me. I did it the other day. I made a phone call and I want to make an appointment downtown at the Apple Store, and it's absolutely nothing to get it done.
Hmm.
Um, Yeah. Now,
Well,
if you want me to complain about April, now I could do that for the next half an hour.
okay. All right. Well, all right. We're keeping it real here. So, appreciate
Um,
that.
but my point is what is quality marketing? It's when you do make that connection with the consumer and you don't keep them waiting in lines and you don't threaten them with exposing their credit cards and identity. So we want to establish a feedback loop where the consumers are understanding, okay, the corporation is really trying 100%. They diverted $300 million this year to resolve this issue. I'm pretty happy that they would give that amount of money. If they're siloed, then I assume they didn't spend any money on what is the huge problem that I'm experiencing. And maybe they put money toward the opposite end. So I understand those suspicions. As that information
Hmm.
is not available to me, I assume the worst.
So your website, Worldwide People, can connect corporations, businesses with consumers in a more meaningful way.
Okay, let's take some imagination, but the business will get onto a shroom. Now we call our platforms shrooms, which is super holistic resourcing, organically organized media. We're removing the silos. The the shroom platform that belongs to the community also belongs to the corporation. It also belongs to any small business person within that community. All of a sudden, the resources that did belong to the giant corporation now belong to the small business owner because I can connect personally with my users or consumers and have a dialogue. Now I have information about what does the consumer want? What are they complaining about? What information do they need? Uh, it's one stop for the consumer to get on their local platform and connect with any business in their area.
Hmm.
It's one stop on the larger platform, which is national or global, and connect with corporations that operate on that level. It is a two-way communication because I'm going to explain to everyone interested, this is how to use the product. This is how to get the most out of the product. This is where we should go in the future. These are the new products I would like to have. That information is available to the local small business and to the global operating corporation. Uh, that includes governments. This
Wow.
is, let that sink in.
Well, you had me a two-way communication because there really isn't most companies. You send a form in. Good luck getting them on the phone. Um, if you're waiting in the queue, really, a lot of times the only way to get a corporation's attention is on social media by complaining on Instagram. Uh, just not, you don't want to do that. You don't want to be negative. You just want somebody to hear you and resolve an issue you might have. Uh, we're out of time. Interesting. Like I, there's lots to dig into here, but I see the value in, once we start looking at the consumer end of things and companies connecting with their people. Um, Share with everybody, Robert, the website and how we find out more.
Start at WorldWise People, World, WISE People. From there, we're putting at the bottom of that page the other platforms coming on live. We'll have we'll start out with a few and then that will develop into hundreds.
I have to tell you, the way you designed it, it's kept very simple, but simple can be deceiving. There's a lot going on the back end that many of us might not realize, but for the user experience, whether you're very tech or not at all, it's all there for you. WorldWisePeople.com. Thank you for being here. Interesting, always learning, what's out there and what's new, and appreciate today's talk.
You bet, Steve.
We'll be right back.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
Mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned.
This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.